Hi, everybody. I'm new here. Please don't bully me. Well, guys, we tried, but it looks like TikTok is actually gonna get banned this time. Yep, sorry. I know, bad news, right? I know, we tried. I know you tried. You tried your best. Me too. I tried really hard. Gotta love the U.S. government. Am I right? Am I right? Salute them. It's okay, guys. It was a good run. 9 to 10 years. That's a good time. That's a good relationship. That's the longest relationship I've ever had. If you're new here, hi. I'm JT. I'm also new here. We're all new here. Technically, I'm gonna be making stuff about anything and everything. So stick around. Gonna get crazy. Anyways, let's get into it. What the fuck is going on with TikTok? Huh? What's going on, TikTok? What are you doing, huh? Do I look like it? Do I look like get it? I'm a refugee. For context, at the time of this recording, the US government is requiring that TikTok divest its assets to a US-based company by January 19th or suffer a complete and total ban within the US.
Time could be running out for TikTok. The app now considering a total shutdown for American users if that ban goes into effect on Sunday.
The government is saying that this is due to national security concerns because TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese-owned company. And us, the netizens of TikTok, are not necessarily taking it so well. Like, if you've been invested within the TikTok lore for as long as most of us have, this has happened like 4 to 5 times now. A ban is being announced and we just kind of have to hope that it doesn't happen. You can definitely tell that this feels different. Like, people are crashing out on my For You page.
It's not fair that, like, they're banning TikTok. And I know it's dramatic as hell that I'm crying, but I just seen the video of the girl that made the renegade dance. And I'm crying because I read a comment that was like the algorithm saying goodbye to us.
I wasn't really a part of the Vine era. That was like a little bit above me. I can imagine that this is how people there felt when their favorite app was being taken away as well. Like, my For You page is literally just video after video of people saying their goodbyes. There's even recaps of like the most iconic moments on TikTok. It sort of feels like, you know, at the Oscars when they do the in memoriam and we just see each of the actors that have passed that year. It's kind of like that, but teenagers dancing. Overall, we as a community are just in kind of a bad shape right now. This is like a cultural event. This is 170 million users in the US itself who are using TikTok. That's like half the population of the US. My friends and I share so much content with each other on TikTok that not having it anymore to access at any time is quite heartbreaking. Like, where the hell are we supposed to go? The banning of TikTok has caused one of the most unprecedented digital humanitarian crises that we've ever seen. Hundreds of thousands of refugees are left wondering, where do we go next?
No, absolutely not. I can't do it.
I'm Chinese. I can't do it. No. It's offensive. RedNote, Little Red Book, Xiaohongshu. Is that how you pronounce it? I hope so. This is the first time hearing about it, then I don't blame you. A lot of people don't even know that China has their own social media too. They have like Weibo and the YouTube one. Was that the YouTube one? I forgot. As you might be able to tell, I'm decently whitewashed. So instead of me regurgitating research that I just found on ChatGPT, I thought I might just go straight to the source. I changed outfits. One of my friends, his name is Brian, has been on RedNote for the past 7 years, and as you can see shortly, he's not exactly Chinese, but he knows a lot more about RedNote than I do. So I sat down with Brian and asked him a few questions.
What's up?
What's up, Brian? Before we get started, introduce yourself, who are you, etc.
Okay, I am Brian, actor, former social media content creator. I was on all Chinese social media platforms, including RedNote.
Can you tell me the differences and similarities between TikTok and RedNote?
Very different apps. Chinese TikTok would be Douyin,
Douyin,
which is literally the same thing.
Yeah.
Whereas RedNote actually started more like an Instagram thing, where it's more for lifestyle pictures mostly and text. And they've only recently added the eternal scrolling feature. That's what people are using as TikTok, essentially.
So it seems the Chinese RedNote population is reacting like pretty positively to these new users. Can you tell me why?
Like for me, as an Argentinian, I went there, I learned the language. And even when I was saying ni hao, they were like, holy shit, your Chinese is so good. Welcome. Come have dinner at my house. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people say that they can come across as like rough or like unwelcoming or like very reserved, but that's because they just feel this separation between cultures. And once you show interest in theirs, they're like, oh, you're actually interested. Let's be friends. Let's be, you know.
Okay, so looks like there's a lot of good things to say about RedNote. Problem solved, right? I think it's so hilarious that Americans are so mad at Meta that instead of just bowing down to Mark Zuckerberg, they would rather give their data to another Chinese app. RedNote right now is the #1 app across all platforms. All platforms in the US. Mark Zuckerberg, more like Mark Flip a Bird. Ooh, caca. But as I was saying, if history has taught us anything, it's that when Americans get their hands on something, there's the good, but there's also the not so good. So, surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, the Chinese community welcomed these American foreigners with open arms. Something that I absolutely love about this entire thing is that the American people are finally learning that Chinese people aren't what the American government tells them they are. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the general consensus about Chinese people in America is that they're kind of like a backwards people, or like they come from a backwards country. They have no free will, that they're under a horrible regime. I feel like in general, Americans are pretty ignorant when it comes to other countries. Yeah, we mostly focus on ourselves and like just like jorking ourselves off whenever possible. But by far, I think my favorite thing is that we're finally getting a spotlight on what Chinese people have to offer besides just talking about how powerful they are or their economic power. So there's a great video by Aini, I think that's how you say her name, where she did a really good job about explaining how China has always had a really difficult time perpetuating their soft power here in America. And when you limit and discredit Chinese media or anything that has to do with their culture, it becomes really troubling for China to get a foothold in the Americas. But with Americans learning more about Chinese culture, I think eventually we'll see a shift where they'll be more welcoming towards Chinese people.
They're moving to RedNote to Xiaohongshu. They're liking it there, and Chinese people are asking Americans for what they're calling the cat tax or dog tax.
Yeah, I see.
Where it's like, if you want to be in our app, you got to show us your pet.
And I think this comment sums it up best. I absolutely adore RedNote. Like, the citizens of the US and China know so little about each other because of our government's efforts to keep us divided. Now suddenly, we're both locked in the same room and we're quickly discovering that we have the same exact sense of humor. This comment's also where I got the title for this video, so thank you. Okay, so that's good and Sunshine and Daisies and whatever, but let's move on to the not so good. I backed up a little bit. Like, wasn't I right here before? I feel like I was like right here. Let's address the elephant in the room. It is absolutely not the TikTok brain rot app that we have come to love over these few years. It's China's version of Pinterest, Instagram, the food talk / beauty talk sides of TikTok. Like, I believe the app was predominantly for women to learn how to do like makeup tutorials and beauty tips, and now to see it transform into TikTok brain rot is kind of sad to see. I'm not entirely sure how, let's say horny? I'm not entirely sure how horny of an app RedNote was. And by horny, I mean like people thirsting over people in the comment sections. Like, if you were to give me the American apps to rate on a scale of horniness, I would say TikTok, which is like 8 out of 10. Like, all the way down here is like Pinterest, like 3 out of 10. I'm pretty sure people aren't leaving thirsty comments for people on Pinterest. I mean, I'm not on that side of Pinterest, but if you are, can you let me know? Should I be looking for a wife on Pinterest? Let's see how horny this app is. There's thirst trapping everywhere, but the thing that makes it really crazy is like the comment section. I wasn't there on RedNote before, so like if you were to rate the horniness of this app, what would it be?
There's a lot of like people looking good and modeling and like showing like it's like working out and showing like shirtless pictures. But I think maybe RedNote is a hornier app.
Okay, because right now the comment sections are just, it's all the TikTok horniness that has like been translated.
In English or in Chinese? Like,
it's
who is
both. It? It's both. Like, it started off as like, how do I say raw? Next question in Mandarin. There was this one guy, basically, he was posting like shirtless, like he's like fucking jacked. He had to put in his bio, please no more raw. Like, because they were saying so much of that to him. He was like, please stop. One of my friends, he's Vietnamese American, and when he posts like dance videos. In his comment sections, it's just a bunch of people saying like, oh my gosh, like Chinese people are so talented, or like, I love China, and like, he's not Chinese. They're not even like stopping to just look. You know that scene in Karate Kid where Jaden Smith talks to the guy from Detroit?
lmao
Dude, I'm from Detroit.
Yeah, I feel like that is going to be an interaction that just happens a lot now. So we talked a lot of like good things. Are there any like bad things that you could see coming out from this whole debacle?
Now all these people are going to their app and it's like, oh, now you're in my turf. Well, once you disrespect that, then I'm counting the days because this is meant to happen. As soon as somebody does something that disrespects Chinese culture, they're gonna get canceled. Like people are gonna like go at them. And if it's too many people in a row, they're gonna be like, get all the Americans out.
Yeah. I'm counting the days. I feel like this is gonna happen so quickly.
RedNote or Xiaohongshu just released an update in the Greater China region with a function to separate out foreign IPs. Essentially, this is gonna kill the app for Chinese Americans who actually uses the app to connect with the Chinese content. All of this just because we wanted to say fuck you to the US government. I just wish it wasn't at the cost of others. That's all I have to say about that.
Imagine not being able to celebrate your culture back home. Yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking. For the Chinese natives living in America, we can only hope that they don't lose both TikTok and RedNote. I brought the hat back. There's no doubt that this is like a cultural shift. Like this is the most that Americans have seen of China in a very long time. I really wonder if more Americans are gonna try out more Chinese things. I wonder if I'll see more Americans at the Haigilao, or if I'll see Americans celebrating Chinese New Year, or maybe even trying to learn Mandarin. God forbid they try to talk to me. Don't do that. I don't speak it. It makes me feel bad. I'll be closely monitoring the situation because actually at the time of recording, it doesn't seem like TikTok will be banned by Sunday.
They banned it. Just kidding, they unbanned it.
Also, I wonder if TikTok truly stays unbanned, if those Americans will stay on RedNote. Because then I feel like they've already committed so much of their time there that it almost feels disingenuous to do so. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. This is definitely something that I'm not used to. The videos should get better as time goes along. As of right now, as of recording, I have like less than 100 subscribers. So if you're here, if you're watching and you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to click like and subscribe. It would really support me and my journey through this entire thing. It's 2025. There's a lot of new things that are happening. There's a lot of bad things that are happening too. I understand how privileged I am to be able to just talk about this whole event while people are losing their livelihoods. But anyways, thank you again so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye.
我们一生注定是沧桑，苦之来